Here's Elway's statement. Quote, while I was not planning to respond publicly to the false and defamatory claims by Brian Flores, I could not be silent any longer with my character, integrity, and professionalism being attacked. I took Coach Flores very seriously as a candidate for a head coaching position in 2019 and enjoyed our 3.5-hour interview with him. Along with the rest of our group, I was prepared, ready, and fully engaged during the entire interview as Brian shared his experience and vision for our team. It's unfortunate and shocking to learn for the first time this week that Brian felt differently about our interview with him. For Brian to make an assumption about my appearance and state of mind early that morning was subjective, hurtful, and just plain wrong. If I appeared disheveled, as he claimed, it was because we had flown in during the middle of the night, immediately following another interview in Denver, and were going on a few hours' sleep to meet the only window provided to us. I interviewed Brian in good faith, giving him the same consideration and opportunity as every other candidate for a head coaching position in 2019. He said a lot there. Jay, you spoke to Brian Flores yesterday on this sensational podcast of yours. Quite a get right there.
I like the way you're framing
That's
my
right.
podcast.
The Limits on NPR.
Yeah.
Jay Will's podcast. No joke. 2 hours with Brian Flores. What did he tell you exactly that happened with the Broncos?
So he said he waited for 45 minutes to an hour, and that when they got there, they looked completely disheveled. Their questions seemed to be all over the place, and it felt like a sham. It felt like they were filling a box. It didn't feel real to him at all. Now, he did not say, when I asked him for a description of that, the drinking aspect, and I know he said that in the statement, but he didn't say that with me, which I found to be curious. But, I mean, it kind of just fits into the whole narrative that Brian Flores was building about, due to the Rooney Rule, that he didn't feel like he had legit opportunities. I think about it like this, guys, and just my personal subjective opinion here. We do this show where, Max, we have to be here every morning at 5 o'clock, right? 5:15.
4:40.
4:40, right? I'm in Connecticut, so I have kids. There are a lot of times watching games. I'm on 2.5, 3 hours of sleep. I don't know if I come in always looking disheveled. Now, I'm not saying that's an excuse because everybody could be different, Harry. But, is John Elway, is he flying? Once again, subjective. He's not flying commercially, probably, right? Flying privately.
Oh, you got those guys like beds in
Even
there.
if you are getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep, would you come off as disheveled?
You might.
He might.
How about this,
He
Jay?
might.
Let me ask you this.
I'm not saying he's might.
But we got to get to the Giants. We got to get to the Dolphins. But I want to stay on this for a second. I'm thinking, think this through. If he is on the Patriots staff at the time, right?
Yep.
Flores.
Correctly.
Then they are playing in the Super Bowl against the Rams.
Yes.
So it is credible that he may have provided them with only one small window to interview him, right? Okay, so that that sounds plausible. It's credible to me.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if you have that window, and even if you're flying private and you're hopping from here to there, you're not going on a lot of sleep. I know nowadays everyone's a big tough guy. I only got 4 hours sleep. That's like 3 nights sleep for me. 4 hours ain't a lot for most people.
Who are you trying to call out here, Max?
Huh? What do you mean? I don't know. I know doing this job, I get 4.5 hours sleep a lot of nights because I'm up early in the morning. I got an afternoon show to do. This just in, terrific show, handsome host. But the point is, at any time if I say I'm tired, well, how much sleep you get? 4.5. A lot of athletes are like 4.5. That's a great night's sleep. You know what? For normal people, it's not such a great night's sleep.
I wish.
So I could see Elway clocking out for a couple hours on a PJ, still waking up stiff, tired, a little, thoughts aren't together. And Elway's side of the story doesn't sound false to me.
Fair. That's fair. Yes.
However, when I start seeing things like hurtful, and so I'm sure Elway's feelings are really hurt. Come on, stop. That starts to sound like posturing publicly to win points publicly.
Exactly. Well, I'll say this. I'm one of those people who don't get that much sleep at all, and I'm never disheveled. I maybe it's just me.
Well, congratulations to you.
But I understand where Jay was coming from, because when you have to be up early to do this show, there's times I wake up at 3 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, 3:45, 4 o'clock, different times. And I'm probably on 1 hour of sleep a lot of the times because I'm up watching stuff, and you know how much I watch film, Max. I'm constantly doing things over and over again. but I'm never going to be disheveled or I'm never going to appear.
Well, Jay and I look like death warmed over half the time this early in the morning. Jay, what about the idea of the questions not being coherent? There didn't seem to be so take everything Elway said, and from Flores' point of view, you could say, hold on a second. If y'all were taking me seriously as a candidate, you would be, even if you were disheveled, even if you didn't sleep a lot, you would be better prepared.
Can I tell you what I would say? So if I just had a meeting the night before and I didn't feel like I was on top of my game, and Harry is Brian Flores, I would say, you know what, man? I'm on 2 hours of sleep. I flew across the country to see you. I feel a little bit disorganized right now, but you are a guy. I want you. You're my guy. Like, I'm disclosing it. I'm being very transparent about it. I'm creating that relationship right off the bat, letting you know where I'm coming from, how I value you, and what length I went to show you that I want you to be my guy, or I want you to have a chance to be my guy. I didn't feel yesterday talking to Brian Flores that kind of energy came across when he sat down next to John Elway. I didn't.
Well, do they have drinks on PJs? You can.
Do they?
I'm just asking. All
right.
You could have had one.
I'm saying, Max, if somebody's important to you and you want to establish them as a real candidate, you make it known and you make it work.
Well, I think that's real. I think the Giants, the Broncos, Elway has some plausible explanations.
Yes, he does.
I also think from Brian Flores' point of view, he may say, that notwithstanding, like even that's all true, I still don't like the way that went down. Okay. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.